Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? Okay, cool. Okay then. Daily Bear Button. English. And play. I have not. Okay. About there. Alright. There. Yeah, that works. It's your area. Okay. Oh. So, that's terrible. Okay, look. Now, I didn't play the person. So, this is gonna be fun.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay. I'm just gonna turn the sound down a bit. There we go. Turn it down a smidge too. Alrighty. There we go. Come on. Is that the clock that's ticking? I'll just turn it down so that you guys can actually hear me. There, that should be fine. that should be all fine now. Okay, so I'm out of the office. But what if I want to just go back in the office? That's an option too.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
What happened? Okay. Sure. Yes, that's what we're going with. Okay. I'm assuming that was one of the endings. Okay. Any other
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh, I'm not looking. I'm just messing with all of their stuff. Well, I did something. Can I? Is there? Okay. Fine. Yes. What if they just... Okay, well, close the door. Fine. But I'm messing with every single last bit of stuff on the way there. Hey, another one. Stuck in there. Yes. What? What was that? What the heck was that?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
What? Wait, is there something up with the computers back here again? I gotta go check this out. I went the wrong way. Can I get locked in if I go this way? I'm going back to the computers. Screw you, Mr. Narrator. I do what I want. And what I want is to keep messing with the computers. Oh, there actually isn't anything else to mess with. Well, that honestly kind of sucks. Any more inputs? No? Hey, fine, I suppose. I guess I will just have to go that way. Yes, I want this one to done. Which way is it going again? This way, I think. Yep, this way. Not to step over there.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, but what if I don't want to? I'm just mess with all this stuff first. Huh. Well, I don't know my left from my right, so I'm gonna go in this door.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I'm touching all of these doors. Can't stop.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
I think you're wrong on that one, because I'm going around and I'm touching absolutely everything.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room.
Yep.
A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
I'm on top of the furniture. Amazing.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Rude, but okay, fine. I guess I'll...
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
No. No, come back. Okay. Huh. Okay. Schematics.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Okay, I'll keep that one. But, like, can you try to be nice, Mr. Curator? Even just, like, a little? That would be ever so lovely. Just, like, a little bit nicer, please.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Do I have a light? Oh, that'd be interesting. Well, Pam's production over there in the chat. All that clicking is actually for me. Well, I mean, technically it's from the game, but yeah. What would have happened if I were to just ever so lovingly... eat?
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
I know, right? Amazing. And I'm back.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
The laptops are...
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm just gonna keep messing with the computers. Do I do this each time I do a run? Can I open this one?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference. Nor
Not too bad.
did it advance the story in any way.
Too bad. I'm going to keep
When
watching.
Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room,
Too bad.
and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Yep.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
No, I'm just...
Wow. Yes,
I saw
this
something
room.
that-
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Oh no, I know where I'm going. But did you
Look,
know...
Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why,
Yep.
I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
But why should I? You haven't given me any reason to trust you yet. But this is the only open door and I can't jump off the rails, so fine. I suppose I can trust you instead of a little bit. What's up here? Oh, I can't jump. Oh. Still touching it. No.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Okay, like... If you didn't want me to go through the blue door, why is it here?
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Okay, sure.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Nope, you're making this too fun. Goodbye.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Okay.
You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
It seems like a good idea, but at the same time, what if I don't? Nah. Oh. Well, you suck, narrator.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Too bad I'll give you a 3.
Oh, of course. A 3. Really? Maybe next time we can get you to form an actual opinion, you know? Any level of critical thinking or engagement with your surroundings? Does that sound good? Think we can do that? Yes? Wonderful. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Really? Huh. A worldwide miracle. Are these actual people? Is it? Huh. Oh, haha, very funny. I have not been on for 7 hours. Tisk, tisk, tisk. No, I'm good. What if I go back into the orange room? Oh, those are...
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
3.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me
I'm
boot
stuck
it up.
here anyway, so might as well.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Should I use that vinegar?
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Oh? What do we do?
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley, and it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Sure. I just close the door. Oh, you wanted to give me the option to close the door for ice cream? Do we just walk around or is there anything? I wish there was a way to make this character faster. Wait, how tall are you guys' doing?
Oh, no.
I'll have two.
No, it can't be.
What can't be? I think it's something.
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off.
No.
Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
You're very boring,
Okay, I think this will be just the thing. Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
Alrighty then. Well, let's just get...
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Oh, I get a ball. Where's the ball? Oh, nice. I think I'm gonna pick the blue team. So I'm just bouncing.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball. Yes! Oh goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls!
What? Why are there so many?
Are you enjoying this, Stanley? Are you having fun? Is this a real video game?
Yes.
Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over.
No.
That's right. Your little fun comes to an end. This is my game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I am structure. I'm your sense of purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much. But who knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best.
Can I at
Take
least get the
care,
ball back?
Stanley.
Can I please at least get the ball back? Oh. Well, I guess not. Oh, annoying. I guess the only other option is to jump down one of these holes. So that's what I'm gonna do. Goodbye.
Hold on. What are you doing?
Jumping down the hole.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Oh. What is all of this? Huh. This is interesting. Huh. It's like the backgrounds. Wow. Okay. So many doors. Right. Yep. So what? But like, there's only one. Oh. Hello? Am I just kind of stuck here now? Oh.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Are you sure about that? Alright. I guess we're back at the beginning. Okay. Yeah.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
But what if I did miss a memo and they honestly just don't like it? Which is a very valid option. I mean, you never know. Some people are just like that. Touch it.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Back here. Nope, you're going right again.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
No, I already.
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
So,
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others?
You mean like
Are you
5
that
minutes
convinced that
hours?
I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Alright, walk through the red door then.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you. What do we want? What are we looking for?
What are we looking for? Don't jump off this. Oh no, it's just all.
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
This is actually really pretty. I will admit. It is honestly pretty. So beautiful. Wow. This is honestly really nice. Oh hey, we got a new follower. Thank you, Helen Matthew 1 for the follow. It all got cute. So side.
No, wait. Where are you going?
Somewhere else. Why? Why do you care? You can just stay over there in your room.
Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Okay, but on the other hand, what if I...
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
But like...
Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
Okay, but... like... at the same time... Yeet.
No! Oh, thank God. You lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room?
Okay, fine, I'll go back. Am I slower? I just want to see what he says.
There. See? This is what you want. This is where we can both be happy. We really can. If we stop moving, we just have to stop moving.
But like... Nah... I want to progress with the game.
Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this.
There's a lot of good that can come from it. Just not for you.
No. No, no. What are you doing? Do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince you?
Nothing. Because I'm going to continue until the game starts. So I can go down another path and we can start this whole little rodeo all over again.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room.
But like,
Can you do that for me?
oh, he's so sad. Oh, he's so sad. I'm so sorry.
My God. Is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
I kind of want to just go back to the room so I can leave him there. I'm sorry.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
I am so sorry, Mr. Narrator. It's like, I want to stay in the room with you because that's nice and tranquil. But at the same time, I need entertainment for my viewers.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it?
Sorry.
I'm going back.
Apologies. I do actually feel really bad about that. Mr. Narrator? Are you there? Oh, he must be really sad. Oh, I don't even know.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Fine. We'll go along this time.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Oh, someone got by. Perhaps about things in money. Okay. Sure. Ooh, what was it? Can I go in here? I can go in.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
No, I'm good. I'm just gonna sit here.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
But like, what if I want to?
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Yeah, I'm just in the little closet because why not? I want to see how long.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
But I just want to be in the broom closet. What if I just stay
You
in?
do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
Well, too bad because I'm in here now, and I'm going to
Maybe
stay.
to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
Probably not. Because
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
what? Since when?
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose.
What?
Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them.
That's a bit
All
much
right,
to ask.
when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Alright.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Huh. You know what? Get back. I want to see how long it's going to just like stay in the closet. And I go. Oh. Hmm. We actually have the same house. Hello, Mr. Narrator. Have a pen at the stairs. Hi. I will be back in the broom closet. I will be back.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
But like, what if I put down? Because that's an option. You mean if you didn't want me walking downstairs, you give option to go downstairs. voice. What?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
Wait, but then
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream.
How was I floating?
Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
Exactly.
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one.
I'm still walking.
Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons.
See where this goes.
Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
No.
I am okay.
Nice try, but no. Oh, I was right. I ran into a wall.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
No. Okay. Did I just die?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind.
Yes.
I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better.
You're my cute.
But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Okay, looks like he's starting up again. And let's go for another loop.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What? Okay, well,
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I've already got that inventory map, I guess. How's everyone in chat doing, by the way?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay. Well, we went down last time. Broom closet,
Oh
I'm back.
no, oh no, not again. I won't be part of this.
Don't
I'm not
you
going to
do that.
encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
I just like freaking you out. It's good broom closet. Psych, I'm going back in. Seriously? Uh-oh. It's close.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, wow. Doesn't seem very executive to me. The mirror isn't anything. Oh, what the? What? I got the feeling money's for stealing, but not yours, of course. So, it's a lovely place. Okay, I guess. A little strange, but sure. I think the door's still open. If I just go back. I'm gonna just go back. I just want to see. Can I go all the way back? No, I'm locked in. Dang. That kinda sucks. Oh well. Can I mess with this computer? That's where it was. go. Going, please. What? We're just back? I'm back at the same place. Okay, I guess. I guess the only other place to go is in here.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Aw, the
Shocked,
doesn't really make
unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
You're right, I don't, so I'm not even gonna touch it. Because, I mean, I just want to see how long it's gonna be until you just tell me to input it in. And if I just don't,
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
put me on the table. I know I can get on the table. Yes! Haha! I am on the couch.
2845.
Yeah, I hear you. But, like, I'm on the couch. I have ultimate supremacy on the couch. So, yeah. Suck it. Okay.
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself, and Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well,
Sure.
whoop-de-doo.
I guess. Sure then, whatever. Whatever you say, Mr. Narrator. In here. Where do I go? Oh, of course, I go to the big old flashing light over here. Can I fall down this? There's got to be a way to fall down this. There's no. That's it. There was so no. Just complete darkness. Okay, that works. Go on down. Go up. We go up. And it's again. Okay. Sure. Sure.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Oh. I go back up. I can't.
Whoops, nope, never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
Mainly because, well, why not?
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow! I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Well, that's good. I guess he just wanted me to go back down. What if it's like 1987? You might all recognize that reference. Fine. I'll go back down the elevator.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
I'm just amazing.
Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor, won't he? Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
No. Escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Still technically a type of escape.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Yep. I just
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
That's very ominous, but amazing. Oh. Huh, I didn't know.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
But I'm sorry.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
What is all this? Office? Is this an exit room? Why is there a museum room dedicated to turn it on? Nice. this is Puffles. Screens from development. Not bad. Not bad. Do these balls lead to the same place? Oh no, that one leads somewhere different. Let's go to the other one first. Lounge. Nice. Underground. Nice. What? Narrator outtakes.
Let's see. Stanley walked through the green door. And finally, he pushed the number 9.
Wow. That's pretty cool. Okay, now we can...
No.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Freedom ending? I haven't gotten that one yet. Huh? Countdown. What? What? Huh. Monitor room. Countdown. I haven't gotten those yet. What? Sending? Okay. Sending rebound. Sure. Game is now paused. Sending. What's over here? Trailers. Okay. This place is huge. So first, the lounge. Option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4. There's a vent? What? Wait, the lounge. Okay. What the? Huh. Okay. I guess there's more I gotta try out. Nice. What's this? What? Apartment timer? Huh. I've not been there yet. Office? What? What is with this? Warzone? What? Okay. I guess. That is a bit strange, but sure. What? Narrator emails. Huh. Okay. Sure. Down I go, I guess. Thinking this all leads back around. Copy it. This room. Office plant. Nice, nice. Oh yeah, it did lead all back around. Where am I supposed to go? Do I go this way? Oh, I already went this way. Where the heck do I go? Oh, exit.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Okay.
But listen to me. You can still save those two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Looks like we got squished. Oh well. I guess we restarted it. Narrator, I'm back.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing?
Yeah, that sounds like a very funny story. Very, very funny. Ha ha ha. Oh? Hey! Welcome to the stream, Alexi. That's how you say it? Sorry. Well, welcome to the stream. Hope you
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah. I'm going.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Yeah, I'm
Feeling
not
a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
closet. No. Oh, that sucks. I was really hoping to go with the
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yeah. I'm going. It's already on.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Still kind of sucks we can't fall down the hole. Yeah. That's the boring elevator ride. They don't have music or anything. What was the other elevator had music? Come on, narrator, where are you at?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yeah, I already went that way. Lights.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
This room would be amazing as home theater. Just imagine you have your own room with like a gazillion screens. Talk about big screens. Just dang.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Fire? What's that? Oh, couple people got fire. Huh. Oh, we can go this way. Walking.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
I mean, that does sound like a good system that's in place, yeah.
No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
I don't know. We'll see right now. Anyway, how's everyone doing in chat? Thank you all for showing up.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
But what if I just say no?
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
Yes,
After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going. What all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
But that's just nowhere to go.
Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now?
Yeah.
Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved?
Yeah.
Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
Oh? Am I dead? Did I die? I might have died. There's a really good chance I may have just perished there. Just a really good chance. Yeah, most certainly.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Well. Okay. Well, V-Thunder, it seems that the facility just exploded with us inside. So, yeah, that's what just happened. Oh, there's a computer. Oh, dang. That kind of sucks, not gonna lie. Okay. Oh, okay, thumbs up. Where is that one computer where I can do anything? There's gotta be one around here somewhere. Huh. Yeah, buildings explode all the time. New content. Oh, wait. I'm gonna go over here first.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
You're so yappy.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
You're no
Feeling a
dirt.
wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I'm going. This way?
The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really be all alone? This was too much for Stanley to take. Too much for any man to take. He fell to his knees, bursting into half moans, half sobs, the guttural retching of life from a man denied any hope, any reason to keep going. Here on the floor, he lay prone, paralyzed by fear for nearly a full hour. But when at last he began to move about and survey the situation, he found a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could it mean? Was it a sign of hope for Stanley's future? Alas, it was not. For although this keypad guarded the terrible secret of Stanley's past, it had been assigned a 4-digit code so devious and so random that no man could ever hope to guess it. 2845. Statistically, nearly impossible to guess blind. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Yeah, down Let's go. 1, 2.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yep.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Yep.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Yap, 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 yap. That's all I yap, yap. Come on. Let's go.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery...
Haha, bye.
blackness, and a rising chill of uncertainty.
Okay,
Was it over?
sure.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go,
I'd rather get
what to
things the
do,
old-fashioned way.
or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
I want to go explore that house.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way,
Whatever.
right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Well, I'm not. I'm starting to get sick of your voice. Okay. Cool. So we've got 3 achievements on there. Nice.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
Except that one. Okay. There we go. And let's continue on. Inspect. Any more? Come. Any more? Come on. Now, I think I'm gonna go through the new content door now.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
No clue. But it sounds interesting. Yeah, new content. Let's go.
Hello, and thank thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Nice.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Okay. Are you sure about that?
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Alright. Is it door? Okay.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Yeah, sure. Can we go down? Or...
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Yeah. Let's do this.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Yeah, give me the content.
All right.
Jumps.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Wow. Actually jump now. And it's boring.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Well, there's another elevator.
Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
What is all this?
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
I mean, I guess I don't really have a choice in the matter. Okay. Sure. Let's just go up the stairs then, I suppose.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something.
Sure. Why not? I kind of want to see what's over there first. I'm gonna go check right here first before I go in the vent that leads all the way down.
Oh. You don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you?
Oh,
Well,
I just
fine.
was directly
You're a
to the-
dork anyway, so who cares? Oh, never mind. You're not a dork.
I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about that comment. Alrighty then, I guess. Now you're right, Tempest Productions. Spooky. Very spooky.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Oh. Ooh. That's interesting.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Yep. Seems like something you'd want to repeat considering you're part of the game.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
The Stanley Parable. Nice. This is kind of like a gift shop, almost. Stanley Parable demonstration. Nice. Oh, wow. Oh, actual achievements. I'm definitely gonna have to check after this stream. Nice. Newspaper articles.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at
Yeah,
all.
that seems about right.
It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Yeah. Though I am kind of surprised it mentioned Skyrim. You know, Skyrim is actually pretty fun. I should totally stream Skyrim at some point. Memory Zone? Okay. Nice, nice. Oh, nice.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories. These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again.
Oh, sweet.
Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Oh, kidding.
Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny? I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
But we want fun. Don't want homework. We want the ha-ha funny. We want the low. So you think of another here?
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy,
Yeah,
honestly,
you are
you
a bit
can.
preachy,
Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it, well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel
Dad, then why do you keep
like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
Don't we all
A skip
sometimes?
button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Alright, let's see this.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what
Should
the
I press the
players have been asking for, and I'm
Come on,
very
Jack,
proud
should I
to have
press the button?
delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people, and if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up.
Yep.
Here.
said make me, I'm back.
Oh,
Hello.
you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Well, there's sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what
Say go
Cookie
poof?
9 will say about... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much
And
I
the
can
next
ramble
one should-
on to myself about. I know it's shocking, isn't it? But it... Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone.
Why didn't
I've looked
you
at it
put
from
another
every
one?
angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley.
Then check 'em
There's
1,000
no
more.
door. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back.
Oh,
My
sure
goodness.
you did.
I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button.
Well,
That's
I'm not
what
gonna
I'm
hear you anymore
realizing
now.
now, Stanley.
And I
I'm
did.
realizing.
Let's see how many times I can do this.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them.
Narrator? Hello? Oh, the tree's moving. Narrator? Are you here? Narrator? No? Chat, what do you mean I'm evil? I am not evil. You gave me the skip button. You told me to use the skip button. Jeez. I'm just doing what you said. But since he's not here... What?
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing.
Hello? Hello? Narrator? Narrator? Why would I? Hello? Okay then, I guess. I'll continue, but
The end is never the end, 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 is never.
bye then. You gonna say anything now? No? This tree is just gone. Oh, there's water. Did we sink under the water? Oh, the tree! No! The poor tree. That is so sad. Oh? Hello? Can we get out? Oh. Okay. are just gonna walk. Okay. Where do we want to? Do we just want to go forward? The end is never the end. Oh, welcome to Stanley 2. What? What is going on? Okay, can I go back? Can I go back to the office? What the heck is going on? What? What is going on? I'm so confused. Do I have to push all of the buttons? No, they just come back on. Huh. What am I supposed to do? I am so confused. Chat, do you have any idea what's going on? I seem to be in heaven compared from what it said. Can I leave? Maybe there's a sequence. I don't think there's a sequence in this. I'm just so confused right now. This is so weird. What the? What? Okay. I guess. I am so confused. But sure. This is how we'll end the stream, I guess. How did I end up here? All I did was press that one. Like, what the heck? This is so confusing. Huh. Well, alrighty then. I guess this is a good enough place to end the stream. I want to thank all of you guys that decided to pop in, even if you didn't stay for the whole video. Still, thank you very much. And thank you to our couple new subscribers that went and followed me here over on Twitch. If you came from my Twitter, thank you so much. And if you came from Instagram, thank you from there too. Alrighty then. I will let you guys know next time I stream. And Bun Bun out. Thank you all so much.